Alright, we are here with Josh Nolin from the Metallic Onslaught.
Hi.
And this is another installment in the Meet The Onslaught series, which the first part I felt pretty, it's like, this will all be up on YouTube soon enough, and so far so good. I thought Will and Lindsay went really well. Anyhow, you have been involved with the show for how long now?
Let's see, first time was 2006, so this would be 5 years.
Awesome. And how did you come about being involved with these guys?
Basically, I used to talk to Rick a lot at Area Records, because the local record store, and I told him I did college radio when I was going to SUNY Plattsburgh, and I had my own metal show, plus I was on a show up there called Kings of Chaos with my friend Joe Shufton, who also runs hornsup.com, so I'm pitching him also.
Cool. And how did you get exposed to metal?
I started out actually like through a lot of the classic rock stuff, Deep Purple, Rush. Then in high school I listened to Metallica, and I had a math teacher got me into Dream Theater, so that got me into the progressive side of things. And I discovered Black Sabbath, and I think that's when the floodgates opened. Then I discovered Metallica, I discovered Iron Maiden, Priest, etc., etc., and it just kind of kept building from there.
Yep, it does that.
It's great like that.
Yes, it is.
Metal.
You start small, and it just opens up doors to many other places. So, favorite bands? I know you're big into the power metal.
Yep. My favorite bands all time are Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath with Ozzy or Dio, Judas Priest, Motorhead, Helloween, Thin Lizzy, Megadeth, Trouble, Blind Guardian, and Mago de Oz from Spain.
Nice.
I also like punk, but that's for a whole other different time.
Well, it's like, it's one thing, it's like, I found it kind of funny that, especially back in the 80s when I was like in high school, it always seemed like there was such a, it's like metal versus punk. If you were into metal, you somehow could not be into punk. And I had an appreciation for both, it's like AC/DC and the Ramones were among my favorite, the Clash, I didn't mind a little of them from time to time, and I never understood that mentality.
And I've always been a United Forces fan because I loved Motorhead, and I had a lot of friends who were punks who loved Motorhead and didn't care for anything.
Yeah, because, Motorhead just, it's like, I think Motorhead actually is one of those bands that helped kind of bridge that gap and gave birth to thrash metal,
I think them and the Misfits.
Yes.
Were probably the two bands that bridged the gap.
Because, then you got thrash metal, which was kind of like what came as that, at least that's the way it always seemed to me.
Yeah.
So, best live shows.
Best live shows, let's see, Iron Maiden 2008, let's see, Heaven and Hell 2007 with Megadeth.
Cool.
Dropkick Murphys about a month ago at the Armory. Let's see, who else? And a couple others.
You actually got Rick to come out with you to that one, yeah.
Go to a punk show, and he was kind of amazed about that. Another one of my favorite shows would be Exodus at the old arcade. Nice good thrash show.
Oh, yes.
And two others, Judas Priest at in Syracuse in 2005. That was fantastic. Anthrax,
yeah.
Joey Belladonna.
I found out about that show after the fact, and I cried a lot.
Sabbath with Dio yet again in 2009 with Motorhead open, and then Motorhead 2003, the day before I took my German final in college. I saw Motorhead, and they were fantastic. I saw Anthrax with John Bush open for them. So there's some odd reason for me and Anthrax going to two of my favorite shows and opening for Priest and opening for Motorhead.
Hey, if you're going to open for anybody, it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't get much better than that.
No, not at all.
So if you could pick one crazy moment from the show, craziest, funniest, what comes to mind? You've seen some stuff.
The Roller Girls tickled me.
Oh yeah, that was
No
a fun.
Pants Day.
That was the de-pantsing, wasn't it?
The de-pantsing, the deflowering of the Josh.
Yes, well.
So enjoyed that. I had a smile on my face that lasted the whole night. And I was pitching a tent in my shorts.
I'm pretty sure that's something you probably should not have shared right here. You heard it right here on YouTube. Yeah. That is information that we suspected on No Pants Day, but we weren't really going to. Well, thank you for confirming that. Nah, that is all right. Because, you know, knowing that cannot possibly be more disturbing than the Mankini.
Yeah, and that I don't even want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, that was Will and Lindsay's pick right there, and they weren't even here to see it. They saw,
yeah.
Will saw that on the webcam that night, and yes.
Yeah, but I saw it in the flesh, and I was reading a book, and I just put the book back in front of my face like, ah!
That story is on their interview, and you can check that out there, and I think we're pretty well wrapped up then.
I think so too.
Good deal. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.